Welcome to Football Scientific. I am Aaron Sauter, the professor of football science. I'm a writer for FOOTBALLanalysis1.com. I write about the NFL. I just finished my article today and published it about the most critical stat for all the NFL teams during Week 13. Boom. Tonight I'm going to work on my power rankings. That'll be probably published Thursday morning before Thursday night games. So that's what we're looking at. This is my NFL analysis on FOOTBALLanalysis1.com. I also write for CFLNewsHub.com. I cover the Hamilton Tiger-Cats at the CFL. And I also write for UFLNewsHub.com. I write about the UFL. Not so much right now, but I guess in January, micro pulses get about to pick up and we're going to get more exciting times, okay? Today is all about covering the NFL Week 13 outcomes and getting our power rankings for the AFC and NFC out. Remember, our new sponsor is W Energy. Make sure you buy W Energy. I have a promo code and a website to order W Energy at 30% off if you use my promo code. And that is on the chat part of this video in the description. So check that out. And W Energy, be better. That's what we're looking at. Be better, okay? I am joined by my guest host, Tyler the Tiger. Tyler the Tiger, I have some W Energy, and I am being better. For sure. Real better. That's it. Real better? Is that even the right way to say it? I'm a tiger. I don't know how to speak proper English. I'm not the king or something. Or whatever. Stop it, Professor. Quit picking on me. Okay, so what are we doing today? We're doing a rundown of the NFL and of Week 13, and we're going to do our power ratings and then talk a little about CFL, some signings. That's it. That's the plan. I wish you were at the programming meeting because then you would know the plan. Well, I had something to do. It doesn't matter. Be a professional. Come to the programming meeting. Seriously. Let's break it down. Okay, here we go. First, recent news starting Week 14. We'll just talk about that real quick. So, Pittsburgh Steelers. If you kept track of yesterday, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen requested to be released by the Minnesota Vikings because he wants to play a bigger role for them, and they didn't want to play a bigger role. This is his last year. He's going to retire after this year, it sounds like. So he wanted to go somewhere where he had a chance to play in the postseason, and he requested to be released so he can go sign with someone to have a chance to play in the postseason. Of course, who's he pick? Well, they picked him, I guess, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It doesn't seem likely they're going to be in the postseason right now. They're crashing and burning. But they claimed veteran wide receiver Adam Thielen. They activated cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., who they signed to their practice squad last week, and they waived veteran cornerback Darius Slay. So I guess Asante Samuel is going to replace Darius Slay. It's weird. They picked up Adam Thielen. He's an older receiver. Aaron Rodgers is complaining about people running the routes right. So that's his thing. He did it at Green Bay. He did it in New York, and he's doing it with Pittsburgh. When he's crashing and burning, when he has a broken wrist, when he's injured, he always complains about receivers not running the right routes. But he's always breaking them off and doing scramble rules. So who knows, man? It's just an excuse. That's why I dislike Aaron Rodgers a lot of times. Indianapolis Colts, they waived kicker Michael Badgley. Goodbye, Michael Badgley. They blamed all the problems they had on you, man. And they signed former Saints kicker Blake Grupe to their practice squad. And they did a tryout for Ravens kicker Justin Tucker. They're like, you know what? At this point, we don't care if you want to get, a happy ending on your massage. Houston Texans waived veteran offensive guard Laken Tomlinson, and Detroit Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown did not practice today. All right, so now we already went through our Thanksgiving Day games. I think we did that Friday, and we went through our Black Friday games. I mean, maybe Saturday we did that, So this is just the rest of the NFL games on Sunday and Monday Night Football. So let's break it down, as Tyler Tiger would say. So first we had Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. Trevor Lawrence, who had been turning the ball over like crazy, came in and went 16 for 27, returning 29 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Travis Etienne had 12 carries for 28 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Jacoby Myers, who they picked up at the trade deadline, had 6 catches for 90 yards and a touchdown, pretty good. And then they had 3 sacks. Okay, Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward went 24 for 38, solid, 141 yards, just, dinking and dunking. He had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Tony Pollard, the running back, had 10 carries for 60 yards and 1 fumble, no touchdowns. And then Chig Okonkwo had 4 catches, 29 yards, 0 touchdowns. And they had 3 sacks. Nothing too impressive from the Titans. They're just playing the season out. Honestly, it benefits them to not win anymore and get another number 1 pick in the draft. They try to turn this thing around. With that in mind, Jacksonville won 25-3. Boo. All right, next, Atlanta Falcons and New York Jets. Going to be a ground and pound kind of game, kind of cold. I really thought the Falcons were going to win this one. Kirk Cousins started for the Falcons. He went 21 for 33, returned 34 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bijan Robinson had 23 carries for 142 yards. We're just running the ball like I thought they would, and short passing game. Kyle Pitts, their tight end, had 7 catches for 82 yards, 0 touchdowns. They had 2 quarterback sacks, which is not as many as I expected for that defense against that offense. Tyrod Taylor, quarterback for the Jets, went 19 for 33 for 172 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. Not great, but solid. Breece Hall had 19 carries, 68 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. Not huge, but didn't fumble. Adonal Mitchell had 8 catches for 102 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 2 sacks. And really, this game was nip and tuck, as expected, a gritty, grinded out kind of game. But then in the last 2 minutes, the Falcons had 2 opportunities to drive down and kick a field goal and win the game. And they blew both of those. Kirk Cousins blew both of those. And no offense to Kirk Cousins, of course. And the Jets ended up kicking a field goal and won 27-24 in the last seconds with Nick Folk kicking that field goal. So, my hair's in my nose. All right, so that was the Jets won. Okay, there we go. Rams at Panthers. Rams came into this week. Week 13 is the hottest team in the NFL. Matt Stafford hadn't thrown an interception in 5 games. What's that mean? It means it's probably jinxed, man. Matthew Stafford came in and went 18 for 28, returned 43 yards, 2 touchdowns, and you guessed it, 2 interceptions, and he had a fumble on a strip sack. Blake Corum had 7 runs, 81 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. Devontae Adams had 4 catches, 58 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He had both touchdowns to Matt Stafford. And they had 2 quarterback sacks. So Stafford went back to turn the ball over. As they really thought they were going to beat Carolina, but that's what happens in the NFL. You can start taking people lightly, and suddenly you're throwing interceptions. On the Carolina Panthers, that doesn't mean anything because the Panthers had an interception against the 49ers and couldn't put points on the board. Bryce Young for the Panthers was 15 for 20 for 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's very good. Chuba Hubbard, 17 carries for 83 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Not bad. And Jalen Coker, 4 catches, 74 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 2 sacks. And the Panthers upset the Rams 31-28. I wrote an article about that on FootballAnalysisOne.com. Check that out. New Orleans Saints at Miami Dolphins, as expected. Pretty tough game. Dolphins played better than the Saints, of course. For the Saints, Tyler Shough went 26 for 38, 239 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not disastrous, but not great. Devin Neal had 14 runs for 47 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. And they didn't have Alvin Kamara, which is always trouble for the Saints. Devon Bailey had 8 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. They had 4 quarterback sacks. Not bad, not great. Pretty much what you expect with the Saints right now. Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa went 12 for 23, 157 passing yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not surprising. Devon Achane had 22 runs for 134 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 foot. That's the standout of the game. Spotlight of the game went on Devon Achane. Darren Waller, who got activated for this game, had 2 catches for 47 yards, 0 touchdowns. They had 4 sacks. And because of Devon Achane's efforts, the Dolphins won 21-17 to get another win, and now they have 5 wins. Coming around. Okay, boom. Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cardinals have been close to winning week after week after week, but they keep making key mistakes. They come up short. Tampa Bay got throttled by the Rams. So here's what happened. Jacoby Brissett went 29 for 40 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. As expected, he had a great game, other than the 1 interception. Zonathan Knight, who no one's ever heard of, was running back for the Cardinals, had 11 runs for 62 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 fumble. Trey McBride had 8 catches, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks. Jacoby Brissett, pretty good. Trey McBride, pretty good. Zonathan Knight, pretty good for a guy I've never heard of before. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield did play in the game. He went 18 for 28 for 194 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Not as good as Jacoby Brissett, but he has a better team around him. Running back Bucky Irving came back, and he had 17 carries for 67 yards and 1 touchdown, no fumble. That's a good comeback game. Gets right in time for the playoffs. Chris Godwin, who also came back off the injured list, had 3 catches, 78 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 2 sacks. So maybe Tampa Bay's getting more healthy as they go here. Tampa Bay won 20-17. Nothing surprising, really. San Francisco 49ers at Cleveland Browns. Brock Purdy came in for 49ers, went 16 for 29, 168 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. Nothing surprising. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. That's pretty much how I describe Brock Purdy. Christian McCaffrey, 20 carries for 53 yards, 1 touchdown, and no fumbles. Pretty bad day. Just not very productive. But he's also playing against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Jawan Jennings had 4 catches, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 3 sacks, and they had 1 punt return for 60-something yards. They put him at the 2-yard line, and Christian McCaffrey punched it in. And then they had another turnover when the Browns dropped the punt, and Brock Purdy completed past Jawan Jennings for the 1 touchdown. Cleveland Browns with Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. Shedeur Sanders went 16 for 25, 149 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Quinshon Judkins had 23 carries for 91 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Harold Fannin, who was their best receiver this week, that's not saying much, had 3 catches for 43 yards, 1 touchdown. And they had 1 sack, which is not a great day for their defense, but the run defense was pretty good. Either way, the Browns didn't step up, and they made some key mistakes on special teams, giving the 49ers a 26-8 win. Pretty convincing. Okay. Houston Texans and Indianapolis Colts. The Texans had a chance to make the Colts continue to drown in their own misery and close the gap on the top of the AFC South. C.J. Stroud came back out of the concussion protocol for the Texans. He went 22 for 35 for 276 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not a great game. Not a very good game at all, really. But he managed the game. Woody Marks, 19 carries, 64 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Wide receiver Nico Collins had 5 catches for 98 yards and 0 touchdowns. That might have been 48 yards, y'all. That might be 98. Indianapolis Colts, who are spiraling right now. Daniel Jones went 14 for 27 for 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Jonathan Taylor had 21 carries for 85 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Now, the key part is 0 rushing touchdowns for Jonathan Taylor. But remember, the Colts are undefeated, like 4-0, when Jonathan Taylor gets more than 18 carries, and he got 21. Alec Pierce had 4 catches, 78 yards, 1 touchdown. He's become like their top receiver. What happened in this game? Texans defense stepped up and got the win 20-16. Colts are spiraling. They're spiraling. Everyone else is catching up in AFC South. It's a real mess there. I got an article about that on FOOTBALLSCIENTIFIC.com. Next, we have Minnesota Vikings at Seattle Seahawks. A disastrous outcome for the Vikings because now they had to start Max Brosmer because no Carson Wentz and no J.J. McCarthy. So now you got the undrafted free agent Max Brosmer, who played like an undrafted free agent. He went 19 for 30 for 126 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. Ouch. Jordan Mason, at running back, had 6 runs for 47 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Let's get passing it, even though he's going throwing interceptions. That's dumb. T.J. Hawkinson, their tight end, had 6 catches, 59 yards, 0 touchdowns. They had 4 sacks on defense, though, so they had a chance. Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold went 14 for 26, 128 yards, 0 touchdowns, but also 0 interceptions, which is the first time in a couple of weeks to have 0 interceptions. Zach Charbonnet had 14 runs for 52 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. A.J. Barner, wide receiver for the Seahawks, had 4 catches for 35 yards and 0 touchdowns. They had 4 sacks. And what happened in this one, Seahawks dominated Minnesota 26-0. Even though the stats don't show it, they dominated that game. Max Brosman, I'm glad he didn't get drafted because that would be a disappointing draft pick. Okay. Buffalo Bills at Pittsburgh Steelers, big game in the AFC for the wild card spots. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen came out and went 15 for 23 for 123 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not a great day by Josh Allen. He keeps not having great games. James Cook had 32 carries for 144 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 fumble. And Ray Davis also had some pretty good yards. Keon Coleman had 2 catches for 9 yards and a touchdown. On the Pittsburgh side, Aaron Rodgers went 10 for 21, 117 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0. He left injured after Joey Bosa strip sacked him and broke his wrist completely on the left side. I guess he broke it multiple places. He's probably done for the year, honestly, which is why he's complaining about receivers now. That's what he does. It still is non-throwing hand, so he might be able to play. It's unclear if he's going to play or not the rest of the year, but they're spiraling. So I bet he taps out. Jalen Warren was supposed to have a monster day against Buffalo's weak run defense. He had 10 carries, 35 yards, 1 touchdown. Not a monster day. Darnell Washington had 2 catches, 45 yards, 0 touchdowns. What happened here? Pittsburgh jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Buffalo made it 37. Then we had the sack, and Aaron Rodgers leave the game, and now Buffalo won. They scored 23 straight points and won 26-7. Buffalo wins. 2 games behind the Patriots still. Las Vegas Raiders travels to LA Chargers. The Raiders just came off a beating from the Browns, which is not a good sign for the Raiders. Geno Smith went 18 for 23 for 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. At least it wasn't sacked 10 times. Aston Janty had 15 carries, 31 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 fumbles, 2 yards a carry. Not great for a first-round draft pick. Brock Bowers, tight end, had 4 catches, 63 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns is huge. They had 3 sacks. LA Chargers bounced back from some bad weeks here. Justin Herbert went 15 for 20 for 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not a great day, but pretty good. Kamani Badal, like the 8th-string running back for the Chargers, had 25 carries, running 26 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. That's a pretty good day by Kamani Badal. Ladd McConkey from Murray County had 4 catches for 39 yards and a touchdown, and they had 5 sacks. What happened? Chargers dominate the Raiders 31-14. Next, Denver Broncos at Washington Commanders. Denver comes in with a long winning streak. Sunday Night Football, big stage, time to show out. What happened? Bo Nix went 29 for 45 for 321 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That wasn't showing out. R.J. Harvey had 13 carries for 35 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Cortland Sutton had 5 catches, 62 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks. Pretty pedestrian game by the Denver Broncos offense. Washington Commanders, Marcus Mariota came in and went 28 for 50 for 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It was an air raid game, man. 50 attempts. Chris Rodriguez had 11 carries for 41 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. Terry McLaurin had 7 catches, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. They had 1 quarterback sack. This one went into overtime. Neither team can take control of the game. Denver scores 7 points to start overtime. Washington comes down and scores 6. Instead of going for the tie, to get a tie, they decided to go for 2, and Nick Bonatti, or whatever, Benatti, whatever it is, he knocked down Marcus Mariota's pass, sealing the win. And then Monday Night Football, we had New York Giants at New England Patriots. Jackson Dart got a start for the Giants out of the concussion protocol. He went 17 for 24 for 139 yards, had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Devin Singletary, who's a running back right now for the Giants, we had 12 runs for 68 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 fumbles. Darius Slayton had 2 catches for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. They had 3 quarterback sacks. New England Patriots came in. Drake May went 24 for 31 for 282 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's a real solid game. Travion Henderson had 11 runs for 67 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 fumbles. Pretty solid. Kayshon Boutte had 4 catches for 35 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 sacks. What happened in this one? It doesn't look like on the stats. It's like a close game, but the Patriots dominated this game from beginning to end. They won 33-15. Just domination. The Giants, man, should be playing Jameis Winston. Your juice is cooked. Okay, all right. That gets us to our updated power rankings. First in the NFC after Week 13. Number 1 is Chicago Bears at 9-3. I've moved them up. They beat Philadelphia pretty convincingly. They're my number 1 team in the NFC right now. Chicago Bears 9-3. Rams got upset by the Panthers. You can't do that if you want to be the best team in the NFC. I've had some questions about them. I questioned we put them at number 1. It seemed obvious, but then boom, they bite me and they get beat by the Panthers, and they're number 2 now. Number 3, Seattle Seahawks are number 3. Just can't trust Sam Darnold, man. They're pretty good. The defense is really good. Just can't trust Sam Darnold. They're my number 3 team. They're good, but not great. Number 4, Green Bay Packers got a big win over Detroit. They're 8-3-1. Someone told me last week I have them overrated at number 3. They're down 1, not because they got bullied or whatever, just because. It was like I think the Seahawks would beat the Packers head to head. Number 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are crashing out. They're a game and a half ahead of Dallas. They might lose that division. They keep getting beaten up by defenses and not able to run the ball effectively against defenses like the Bears. Bears shut them down, man. Philadelphia Eagles are my number 5 team in the NFC, 8-4. Number 6, San Francisco 49ers are 9-4, just hanging around. Number 7, Detroit Lions are 7-5. They're falling out of my top 10 right now. They're in the process of falling out. They got beat by Green Bay. They're 7-5. They're falling out of the division. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, honestly. Good old Lions. Number 8, Dallas Cowboys are 6-5-1. They're accelerating up. They're getting some wins against the Chiefs and the Eagles. They're moving their way up. Number 9, I think they'll replace Detroit here in a week, maybe 2. They're a half game behind Detroit. Number 9, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 7-5. They're the best team in the NFC South just by a hair, but that doesn't mean much, man. Number 10, Carolina Panthers are right behind them, 7-6. They're a half game behind them. And I really didn't think they were very good, but then they beat the Rams. So that probably says more about the Rams, though, I think. Number 11, Atlanta Falcons are 4-8. Number 12, Arizona Cardinals are 3-9. Number 13, Minnesota Vikings are 4-8. These teams are just non-contenders, pretty much. Number 14, Washington Commanders are 3-9. Number 15, New York Giants are 2-11. Number 16, New Orleans Saints are 2-10. All right, in the AFC, number 1, it was a tough call, man. Who's it going to be? Patriots should probably be number 1, but they have such a weak schedule. They have the longest winning streak in the league right now, but they've had such a weak schedule other than Buffalo, and Buffalo's just not great right now. Denver is my number 1 team in the AFC at 10-2. Number 2 is New England Patriots at 11-2. Number 3, Buffalo Bills have worked their way back up at 8-4. Have they worked their way back up, or have the other teams worked their way down past them? It's hard to say. Same difference, though. Number 4, Indianapolis Colts are 8-4. Number 5, Jacksonville Jaguars are 8-4. Number 6, LA Chargers are 8-4. Number 7, Houston Texans are 7-5. That's 3 teams from the AFC South in the playoffs right now in my mind. That's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. Number 8, Kansas City Chiefs are 6-6. They're falling down. They're trying to battle for a wild card spot. They're still in it. They said Andy Reid said they're going to win out the rest of the way. That they're like tickling tonsils or something. It's crazy. Number 9, Baltimore Ravens are 6-6 after getting beat by the Bengals. Hope they lose out. The Bengals can win the division. Number 12, Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-6 after getting beat by the Buffalo. And they're probably want Aaron Rodgers the rest of the way. I hope they lose out and Bengals can win the division. Number 11, Miami Dolphins are 5-7. Number 12, they're slowly creeping back into the playoff picture. If they win another game, they'll be like a game out of the wild card spot, honestly. Number 12, Cincinnati Bengals are 4-8, and they have a pathway. If they win out, they could win the division and make the playoffs. Joe Burrow is back. Number 13, New York Jets are 3-9. Not much hope. They're playing for a playoff spot, but not very well because they beat the Falcons. Number 14, Cleveland Browns are 3-9. Strong defense, but that's not enough to win. Number 15, Las Vegas Raiders. I think they're just trying to get the season over by now and just trying to get to the offseason and try to improve the team. They're number 15. Number 16, Tennessee Titans are 1-11, and they're just a dumpster fire right now. Okay, all right. Then we have some CFL signings. And the CFL Saskatchewan Roughriders signed American defensive lineman Kendi Charles. Edmonton Elks signed American defensive lineman Brandon Barlow. They signed American defensive lineman Noah Taylor. Montreal Alouettes signed national wide receiver Tyson Philpott. They extended his contract. He was going to be a free agent. They extended him. That's a big signing for them. Philpott's a good receiver. They signed American defensive back Cale Sanders Jr. and they signed national offensive lineman Pierre Olivier Lestage. Okay. BC Lions signed American wide receiver Jalen Darden. Ottawa Redblacks signed American wide receiver Latrell Jones. Calgary Stampeders signed American wide receiver Shaquan Davis. So those are your CFL signings for today and for yesterday, and that is Football Scientific. Check out footballanalysis1.com for my NFL articles. Check out CFLnewshub.com for my CFL articles about the Hamilton Ticats. Check out UFLnewshub.com. I got Orlando Storm article on there. Check out W Energy Drink. We got the link in the description. We got our promo code for 30% off. If you like energy drinks, you can control your own content with that. I control my own content, so it's good to be independent. They haven't paid me any money yet, man. They got to buy some stuff, but the money is not important. I'm just glad we're getting some recognition with the sponsorship. The recognition is important, you know. We still do this thing of the punk rock mindset. We're not caring about the money. We're not caring about the likes. We don't care about the stuff. We're just doing this for the satisfaction of it, the love of what we're doing. And if people happen to like it, that's cool. But if they don't, that's fine too. We're still, the reason I started this channel was to market the websites I write for, honestly. So that's where we're at. Football Scientific is over for today, so let's close the Football Scientific portal for today.